Welcome to the mop here on a Wednesday morning, hump day, that's right, and we are getting close to the national holiday here in Wisconsin called the 9-day deer hunt, which starts Saturday. Opening morning, Saturday, this Saturday. I will not be hunting. I don't have a place to go, but always enjoyed sitting in the woods. I could find a place, I'm sure, if I wanted to. Just a lot goes into it. So those that are looking forward to coming to our area and enjoying the 9-day season, good luck to all of you. Please be safe, and go from there. But yeah, the second largest army will be headed to the woods this 9-day season starting Saturday, and runs to the following Sunday. So, wished you all the best of luck. That includes my son. He'll be headed to the woods, I'm sure. And a few others that I know will be headed to the woods, too. So good luck to all of you. May you bag the 30-pointer. Yes, if you know that song. Or I like big bucks. That you heard me right. I like big bucks. Good luck. May you... I've already did my part. I've took one out of the herd. Yes, it's the most expensive weapon you can use, a few $1,000s, and I should have it back just in time for the opener. So yeah, we'll hopefully have my truck back Friday. Thank you to Jones Chevrolet, thank you to Eric and those guys at the body shop, which now brings me to the topic of the mop today: insurance agents. Trying to figure out why we have them anymore. Trying to figure out, I had Kathy Docks for a long time at State Farm when I was growing up in Aiken, and you could go to them, and you could talk to them about your claim. You could take it to, like, Steve down at the body shop in Aiken there, at Clough's Body Shop, and you could talk to them, and they talked to Kathy, and then they ironed it all out with an adjuster. And all I basically did was went to Kathy and said, hey, had a problem. Here's what happened. Okay, take your car to Clough's, whatever it happened to happen. Now, I have an insurance agent, and I'm not going to name agents. There's no point in that. My question is, why do we have them still? Why are people still out there? Why do you have insurance agents? And I'm not saying mine's the only one. There's others that do it as well. But for your deer claims and things like that, for your automotive, which is just as important to me as the house I live in. My house provides shelter, don't get me wrong, but so does my truck. I'm driving around in a car right now, thanks to Jones Chevrolet, which, as 6'5", it's not overly comfortable, but it's got heated seats, so I'm happy. But why do we have insurance agents? Why do we pay the exorbitant amount to have insurance agents when you call after, like I did with my deer hit, and they say, well, Chris, you need to call your carrier. Okay. So I call my carrier. My carrier then says, well, you'll need to answer this online. You'll need to do this thing online before we can start. Okay. So you get all the questions online. How fast were you going? Was your cruise set? Was the deer alive when you hit it, or was it dead on the ground? Well, if it was dead on the ground, I wouldn't have hit it. Okay? Where was it? It was in the air when I hit it. It jumped off a hill, actually. It was in the air when I hit it. Was your cruise set? Did you have anything else? Were you doing anything? How fast were you going? Well, how fast do you think I was going? I was going under, if you knew the road I was on, which my adjuster, my agent would have known, or you can't really set it at 60 even on the road he was on. My insurance agent knows me, okay? They know my family. That was always the benefit of having an insurance agent. But now you're calling somebody in who the hell knows where. You just hope it's close to Wisconsin. But the adjuster they sent then for mine was from Maryland. Okay? Not near me, so I don't know if they were on a train or a plane or what, doing other adjustments in the area. But she was from Maryland, or he. I don't even know. See, I don't know who was looking at my truck. And then you get your quote or your estimate, and you find out, oh, they're using salvage parts here, they're using aftermarket here, they're doing this, they're doing that. So I contact the body shop at Jones Chevrolet. Eric, thank you. He has been fighting to get an estimate for 5 days longer than I had mine, because he looks through it then and cancels all the aftermarket and all the crappy shit that goes on it and goes and switches it all to GM factory parts. So why am I paying a premium to the insurance agent when they're not really doing anything to help me except direct me to call Progressive? I will name them because it's quite ridiculous, really. So I hit a deer. They call, Progressive tells me, hey, guess what? Yeah, all the parts are here. We got stuff we can get you right away. Your truck should be done at the end of the week. Perfect. I talked to Eric. Hey, Eric. He goes, Chris, it can't be. I said, well, that's what they told me on my phone. Can't happen because I haven't even ordered parts yet because I haven't got an estimate. So, and the lady was struggling how to get an estimate to a dealer. Really? See, this is all building up to then you get pissed off. And I'm upset at partially at my agent, but it's not his fault either, because they're told this is how it works. So I'm talking to Joneses yesterday at service, and that's how it works. Even if with American Family, and you get, or State Farm, you get to call the 800 number to start your claim. So the agents no longer, they're just collecting their cut to move it on, which I find asinine. So again, why do I have an agent? Why is it that we are paying a middleman to do everything I've had to do? So I've had to call them numerous times to hurry the hell up and get the estimate. And then I didn't hear about Jones is not getting their estimate either. So that's where I'm at. I'm a little frustrated because hopefully I'll have my truck Friday, 2 weeks after the accident, which is pretty quick, actually, compared to a lot of other people. I think Jones has said in the last couple days they've done 14 deer hit estimates. Yeah, the deer are causing some destructive stuff. And according to the DNR, populations are way up too. But then I talked to a lot of people that have either bow hunted most of the year and they haven't seen anything. So then you wonder, well, where do they get their knowledge or their estimates from? And how do they go about it? So, why have insurance agents? That's my next question. And that's the topic of this. The other part I have that I struggle with is checkbooks. I have a checkbook. I don't want a debit card. I don't want to have that. I want to be able to write down my dollar amount, figure it out, because needless to say, I like to know if I can afford to put gas in the car or not that day. Or do I need to wait a week until I get paid again, or however it works. I like having my checkbook. But fewer and fewer places are taking checks. And I heard a story recently, again, I won't name names, but a guy that sponsors my event and sponsors it well has been screwed over numerous times by one individual writing high dollar checks for multiple people. If you are one of those guys that you are writing checks that you know you cannot cash, May you go to jail, especially for the dollar figures. And may you be locked up for a while. Because it's absolutely asinine that you're affecting somebody's livelihood by being a scumbag. See, you're the type of people that cause me now not to be able to write checks. And I don't like the inconvenience of having to go to my bank, withdraw money, and pay something. There's a lot of places now that won't take check. Quick Trip, no checks. That sucks. I don't want a debit card because I don't want to rely on swiping a card. I don't like going to drive up pumps and inserting the card or nothing because of all the crap that's going on with scammers and everything else. So, if you know those people, and you know of those people, maybe something needs to be done in a severe account. And I don't know the rules or the laws, but if you are writing bad checks nonstop for big amounts, you are a scumbag. Just so you know. And you are affecting people's livelihoods. And we are headed into what's called the holiday season. So, again, you're a scumbag if you're writing big checks. Or any checks that you don't have the money for. I have a long past with people that wrote bad checks, and I had to cover a few of them. And I covered them. And I'm not talking the $30 check here and there. I'm talking the building houses, doing whatever you get done to your advantage to get it done, and don't have the cash to cover it. See, I grew up around some of that check bouncing stuff when everybody took them. Love my mom dearly, but I grew up around it. And at 15, I was covering some of those to help businesses. Because at some points, we did not have the money. But it was not in attempt to build a home or anything else. I still feel if you write bad checks, yeah, you're going to have to pay the piper. And my mom paid the piper. She understood after a while that until the end there where she couldn't, and my mom suffered the ultimate terrible disease. I think cancer would have been better for our family than Alzheimer's was. Alzheimer's was horrible. Which reminds me, I handed my $9,000 check over yesterday to the Alzheimer's Association. Alyssa came from Milwaukee to pick up the check at the bowling alley. Greg and Amy Shep and the Phoenix Center, thank you for hosting the event. It meant the world to me. And thanks for being there when we presented the check yesterday to the Alzheimer's Association for $9,000. We raised $14,133 in 12 months. The first annual and the second annual together raised $14,133. So I am ecstatic about that. But that's, again, this program kind of ventures off wherever I want it. So, because it's my program. But thank you all for the support. Thank you for everything there. Again, if you're going to write bad checks, don't do it, because you just hurt people like me that carry a checkbook. Now I can't write checks to 90% of the places anymore because they don't take them. Because people don't care. They don't care about people. They care about themselves, so they write bad checks. To all the people heading into the woods this weekend, be safe. Be careful. Don't trespass. Make sure it's legal. Don't poach. Do all that stuff. Have a great time, though. Enjoy deer camp. Again, it's a 9-day holiday here in Wisconsin. It's 9 days. A lot of people take their whole time off of work for 9 days. And I know a few that should take some time off because they work their butts off all the time. And they should enjoy a little bit of the time in the woods. It's going to be 50 degrees here kind of an unusual deer season. Used to be. Now it's getting more common. I remember hunting in t-shirts for a couple of times in last few openers. So make sure you're safe, you know your target, all that stuff. Have a great day, everyone. I will be back tomorrow morning with another edition of the Moose Minute. Actually, the Moose Opinion Project. I still liked the Moose Minute, but people said I talk too much. Weird. So, Moose Opinion Project, the MOP. Have a great day. And as always, take time to bless somebody today. And I'll be back tomorrow.